Amanda Knox, the young American convicted of killing a British student in Italy. She's back in court today appealing her murder conviction. She and her lawyers say jailhouse letters and questionable DNA evidence will overturn that guilty verdict. We're going to hear from Knox's parents right after we get the latest on this case from Lama Hassan. Lama, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan. Well, Amanda Knox says she is the innocent victim of an enormous mistake. Speaking for half an hour in court this morning, all in Italian, she made an emotional speech professing her innocence and at times breaking down and crying.
Looking anxious and worn out, Amanda Knox is sitting in the very courtroom that found her guilty of murder last year. Today, she's appealing that conviction with new judges and jury.
Well, she's been wanting to speak for a long time, and she's finally gotten strong enough to do it.
Her lawyers are confident they have new evidence to clear her and introduce a new witness. Knox's defense lawyers are pinning their hopes on a statement from jailed mafia informer Luciano Aviello. Aviello says it was his own brother who killed Kircher in a robbery that went wrong. It is unclear whether the court will accept this statement. At the crux of this appeal is the forensic evidence that was used in the first trial. Knox's lawyers argue that the traces of DNA found on the alleged murder weapon, a kitchen knife, are not enough. The defense is asking for a court-appointed expert to study this forensic evidence. Along with her then-boyfriend, Raffaele Sollecito, the Seattle College student was found guilty of killing her British roommate, Meredith Kircher. Kircher's body was found in a pool of blood, her throat slashed. But the prosecution is also appealing for an even harsher sentence. Knox has already served 3 years of her 26-year sentence behind bars.
Amanda Knox's next appeal hearing is next Saturday. That's when we'll most likely find out if the court will accept the new evidence. Biana.
All right, and we're joined now from Seattle by Amanda's parents, Kurt Knox and Etta Millis, who have been fighting for 3 years to win their daughter's release from prison. Kurt and Etta, thank you for joining us. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Kurt, I want to begin with you. What are you most hopeful about having Amanda's case overturned? Is it this new evidence introduced and the re-examination of old evidence, or is it what many believe will be a friendlier court?
Well, I think it's really a combination of two things. First of all, the media sensation that was brought about during the first trial, I think, had a result that happened during the first case. But really, when they take a look at the facts, and hopefully they'll reopen the forensic evidence, and when they do that, they'll find that Amanda had nothing to do with this and she'll be set free.
Ed, I want to ask you about Amanda herself and her mental state. Her appearance has been described as softer, weaker. She's lost weight. She hasn't been that smiling girl that we've seen in court last year. How is she doing right now?
Well, you know, 3 years in jail is taking a toll on her. This is all hard for her. She's an innocent, really young person locked up. And it's been hard, and the strain is kind of getting to her a little bit, but she's still working on staying strong and looking forward to the appeal and the truth coming out and getting released.
And yet some in Italy say, ironically, this has maybe helped her perception there. She hasn't been seen in a positive light by many Italians there. And there are some that are saying that the Amanda they see now is someone they have more doubts about being able to execute the murder.
Well, I think when you take a look at, the whole media frenzy that was wrapped around the beginning of this case, she was portrayed in a manner that was really not her. And it's one of the things that Ed and I have been trying to do is really tell who the real Amanda is. And I think you're seeing more of that, and people are beginning to realize that she is not capable of doing this.
And you and your family are both allowed weekly phone calls. What have those been like, especially leading up to today's trial?
Well, they're so very short that, by the time you just say hi to her and tell her you love her, and she gives us, just a quick information about what she's been up to, and then we get to tell her a little bit about what we've been doing, that, the phone call is over. So it's really quick, but it's always good to hear her voice. It really does make a difference.
And is Amanda prepared to spend another 20, 25 years of her life in jail? Has she mentally accepted that could actually be a possibility for her?
Absolutely not.
No.
She knows that she is innocent and had nothing to do with this horrific crime, and she's very focused on the appeal and hopefully having the truth come out, which will set her free.
And we talked about the judge having had a past history of overturning previous convictions, but I also want to talk to you and ask your questions and thoughts about the jury. We know that this jury was expected to have a higher education level. Do you think that will help Amanda's case?
Well, I think, a lot of the evidence in the first case was pretty complicated, and so, maybe just with those complicated bits, it'll make more sense to them, and they'll be able to see that there is no evidence that connects her to this crime.
And lastly, as parents, and now at this time of year with the holidays, how has that been like the past 3 years? Has it become any easier knowing that your daughter's not with you during the holidays?
It's never easy. I mean, you always want to have your family around you, and having her, 6,000 miles away in a prison for something that she didn't do is always extremely difficult.
And I've spent every Christmas over there, and so I'm there with her during this time. So.
Well, our thoughts go out to you and your family during this holiday season especially, and we appreciate you joining us this morning. Thank you, Kurt and Etta.
Thank you for having me.